Today's podcast is a more free flow edition of my weekly offering called The Sacred, where I go as deep and as personal, and of course, always, because I have 4 planets in Virgo, as useful as I can. My loves, my readers of The Sacred, I want to thank everybody, first up, for everyone who has sent messages in about liking the stripped down, more personal energy of The Sacred, my Friday newsletter. Newsletter sounds so flat, but that's what it is. It used to be called Sacred Weekends. What we do on the team is we share your comments in the team Slack channel quite often, and it really helps us to exhale. One, there's this exhale of relief because we're all so tired of selling on all of the social media platforms. And then I really feel like your input is like fertilizer on my creativity. This is a two-way street. I just, I say what I feel is useful, but the back and forth is great for me. So I think about you all throughout the week, and then ideas surface and I think, yeah, okay, I've got my next sacred. So we as in like Team D and me, we love praise and ideas and any subjects you want me to jam on, to go deep or to go light, topics, questions, I am listening to you. You can email support@daniellelaporte.com. And yeah, let's keep talking. In the next few weeks, I'm going to tell you a story about suicidal ideation and empathy. We're going to have fun with death thoughts. So I thought this week, since the world feels like a roller coaster that's on fire at the moment, we should do a palate cleanser edition of The Sacred. So here we go. Films I have loved that interestingly all seem to be, well, more than seem, they are about women liberating themselves. So the first one is called Widow Cliquot. So the real life heroine is Barbe Nicole Ponsardin Cliquot. She was the true founder of the Veuve Clicquot champagne dynasty. The champagne that comes in the bottle with the beautiful, clean orange label. So think 18th century boss babe who gets married into total and utter madness during the war and turns it all around and creates a legacy. It's a really beautiful film. And the twist at the end of her really claiming her sovereignty as a woman is really hot. Okay, another film I've loved, Firebrand. Firebrand is Jude Law in a fat suit playing King Henry VIII. Not hot, like so repulsive. They do such a great job of having Jude be just this gross prick of a king. And then Alicia Vikander is his sixth wife, his brilliant sixth wife, Catherine Parr, who manages not just to keep her head from being cut off, but manages to influence a nation. And it is suspected, at least in the film, it's made very obvious that she may be responsible for the ending of King Henry's life. I won't give it away, but that's Firebrand. Okay. Emilia Perez, a lot of buzz about this film because there are multiple nominations, Oscar nominations for this. This was the weirdest, most intense musical, musical with a question mark, meets twisted saga of oppression and self-expression that I have ever seen. Once you get over the, what the fuck is this film kind of feeling, then it's going to rip your heart out. The performances are perfection. Zoe Saldana, Selena Gomez, yes, the Selena Gomez, she was fantastic in this movie. And Carla Sofia Gascon, who, by the way, is the first openly transgender actress to be nominated for an Oscar. This film was incredible. I still think about it. You have lots of conversations. Just get over the weird and go with it because the story is actually, well, in some ways, it's very insensitive. I thought there were some things I missed, but also just very, very tender. Yeah, Emilia Perez. Okay, and then The Last Showgirl with Pamela Anderson. And this movie was a victory for her. Like, this was written for her. And Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays this really washed up showgirl and this terrible penny copper red hair shag cut with the shimmery, what do you call, kind of opulescent white and blue eyeshadow and the frosty lipstick. And these were such brave performances. This movie was something I was really excited to see. Like, I haven't had a countdown for a film in a long time, and I knew on January 17th this is going to open in theaters. Pam's character, if you're really paying attention, if you're a thinking person, and I know you are because you're here, it's not as straightforward as you might expect or as you might think in the first quarter of the film. She's very endearing, and then it hopefully becomes clear to you that she's actually also very selfish. She's a terrible mother. She's a touch delusional, and she's tough as a velvet hammer. And she makes a lot of great philosophical points as a potentially washed up showgirl. I thought it was beautiful, beautifully shot by Gia Coppola, who is the granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola. Okay, and then I have an honorable mention. So for films, we have Widow Cliquot, Firebrand, Emilia Perez, The Last Showgirl. Honorable mention goes to Queer Eye. I am exactly a decade late to this party, but my brother from another mother, Joshua, I've known him since he was 3 years old. He harassed me to watch this. He's like, just watch an episode. And I was like, I don't get time for making Queer Eye on the Netflix. And he's like, you'll cry. That's how he got me. It's like, you will cry every time. So I watched it and then I was hooked. And now we do a weekly episode of Queer Eye and we order in some pad thai or a Buddha bowl from the Nam. In fact, it's Joshua's coming over tonight. We're mostly into Queer Eye now because this new season has Jeremiah Brent. And he is such a deep dish. Oh my gosh. And he is the one gay man I would work to convert. Joshua and I love to just ogle over his true love and his style with his partner, Nate Burkus, who's an interior designer who Oprah helped uplift. Anyway, Queer Eye, I'm in. There's some real life transmutation that happens. Of course, I'm super hypercritical. I don't love all the Queer Eye guys as much as I love Jeremiah. But some of those transformations are really incredibly moving. Okay, that's film. Let's talk about how I'm multitasking and healing right now. These are two products that I'm using. I sit at my desk or I watch movies with the Nose Glow appliance stuck up my nose. And there's an apparatus that goes in your ears and in your mouth. So imagine if you had earbuds with red light in them and one set goes in your ears. And then there's another device that are prongs that also light up. So you stick them up your nostrils. You can still breathe. And your nose is like glowing like Rudolph. And then there's a device you can have in your mouth. And the whole idea is that this is killing unwanted germs and bacteria. It's a total look. So the Nose Glow is a red light ear and nose and throat care appliance. Technically speaking, it's from my genius friend, Nadine Artemis, who is the founder of Living Libations. And since mold and me, we go way back, I am so happy to do all the things to remediate mold from my system. And this is one such thing. And side note, I have not had one respiratory flare up this whole season, which is a big deal. And part of this is that I went to Egypt and the Sphinx healed my lungs, which I talk about in another issue and episode of The Sacred, of all the things I learned in Egypt. Also, along the track of red light therapy, a few years ago, it's been about 2 years ago now, I started using the higher dose red light face mask for my melasma, and it worked. So if you don't know, melasma is like where you get brown spots on your skin. Age spots can be hormones. It can be sun damage. And the red light dissolved my brown spots. So I am sold on the efficacy of red light therapy. And that said, melasma is not just a topical skin issue. It can be hormone driven. And I have been working for a few years with my naturopath, Dr. Sonia Jensen from Vancouver. And then really recently in the last, I'd say like 6-7 months, with my dear friend Jen Pike to get all my hormones in happy harmony. So I think between hormone happiness and red light therapy on my face with the higher dose, and then I'm adding the nose glow from Living Libations, I'm just like vibrating at a higher level. Okay, I have a new music recommendation for you. When someone suggests any kind of new agey music to me, I'm really kind of cautious because I find most of it just too gooey. It's like too watery, it's too astral, it's too fairy forest, you know? And I love my Enya. I like my spirituality grounded. And I found some great grounded music. So new to me band called Aware. So it's written like aware, Aware with an accent aigu on the E. So it's pronounced Aware. They are my favorite new find, deep flow with a side of sexy, Aware. You can find them everywhere you listen to music. Okay, and then just a little life report to round out this palate cleanser of the sacred. I found a great place to move. If you've been listening along, getting evicted. Specifically renovicted. So this is the dearth of greed in many cities, specifically Vancouver. I could go on with social justice issues, basically the assumption, it's not always the case. Sometimes you really do need to overhaul a building completely and it's not safe for people to stay. But in our case, the building I live in with 50 some tenants, some of whom have been living here for 18 years, there are babies, there are families here. You can tell I am lit up about this. More like I am lit. The owner of the building is claiming that there needs to be seismic upgrades for the safety of the tenants. And we're kind of calling bullshit and that everybody needs to vacate. Either way, I'm going because I'm downsizing my life with my son moving out. And this has been really stressful, actually. And I don't usually stress about moving. It's not the move itself. I love letting go of stuff. I love setting up new spaces. All this to say, I found a great place, very close. I am a decisive cat with great habitat karma, but this decision was stressy. Not because all of the tenants in my building are being shown the door, but because my inner resources right now are stretched by the state of the world. Like I can handle it, but it's a lot to handle. I've got some relationship grief going on. There's been too much, this is all my doing, too much social media going on. I've cut way back on it, by the way, and it feels like a victory. Talk about that another time, how I've been doing that. I just decided, fuck it. Really that's my prescription. But my new pad is still on the beach, which I would say is one of my top 14 manifesting miracles in my whole life. So that's my habitat update. I'm going back to Egypt. That trip is filling up. So just FYI, I just have a few spots left. And then closest to my heart, the countdown is on for my son moving across the country soon. We're in our final month-ish. Last week, I mean, really, this happens like every other day. I started ugly crying in the kitchen. I was rooting through the drawer, looking for some scissors. And I thought to myself, he's going to need scissors. He will need scissors. And then my mind just started going on all the things he's going to need that maybe he won't think of. He's going to need Band-Aids. He will need Band-Aids. And as I'm crying, I'm grating the cheese, doing the 7-layer dip. Harper walks into the kitchen and he looks at me and he knows what's going on. So he just knowingly says, "Oh, Mom." And then I had to add the other sort of dimension to this, which was, is it like, I'm going to miss you so much. And P.S., my body is so excited to have the place to myself. Sniffles, and then we laugh and then we cuddle. It's just such a mixed fucking bag of motherhood, of life, that I am honored to be left holding. Okay, that's the palate cleanser. sacred edition. So my partners, my friends, please, here we go. This is me being motivational friend for you. Please remember that breathing into your heart is the most direct route to sanity these days and all days. Breathing into your heart is a direct route to sanity, luminous, radiant, one with the universal mind, heart-centered sanity every day of the week. So breathe into your heart. Don't give in to fear. You feel it. You speak with kindness to your fear of the future. You know that you are the mama, you are the papa of your emotions, and you lead them with grace, right? You love everything in the mixed fucking bag of life. I love you, and today, that's what's sacred. Hope that was healing and helpful in some way that you're inspired to share or hit like, forward, subscribe, review, all the things. If you want to read it, if you want to get the hot links, if you want to have a more multimedia experience of the sacred, please head to daniellelaporte.com/sacred. I will always be here, almost every week. With love, Danielle. Thank you so much for listening, for feeling, for spreading the word. With love.